Oh, Sarvadharma Sthapakatvam Sarvadharma Swarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, Pranam. Sri Ramakrishna addressing the doubts of that BRAHMO devotee when he wanted to know whether it is good to worship God with form and image of the deity made of clay. Now the BRAHMOs, they don't accept the God with form. BRAHMOs, they always worship the formless aspect, the aspect of the Brahman without attributes. No four-handed, no two-handed kind of, no 10-handed the goddess. They just accept the formless God, and they worship that formless aspect. They meditate upon it. They sing the songs pertaining to that formless aspect. Now, this devotee wanted to get a clear-cut answer from Sri Ramakrishna that should people start following the practice of worshipping God in the form of images, in the form of clay images, in the form of metal images, in a form, God with form. And Sri Ramakrishna always respected the spiritual tendencies of other people. He never forced anyone to change their inherent spiritual tendencies, the inherent spiritual practices which people were following. So Sri Ramakrishna clearly told the Brahmos in this gathering that you do not accept God with form. That is all right, perfectly all right. You do not accept God with form. You need not change your views because of my telling you that you start worshipping God in the form of images, and I will never tell you start worshipping God in the form of images if you are worshipping the formless aspect. So that is a clear-cut answer from Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna wants something more that the Brahmos to adopt in their way of worship. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, you you see how the devotees, they are worshipping the images. They worship the images with a great amount of yearning, a great amount of feeling that they have for these images. They have for these the images of Rama. They have this love and affection and the feelings towards the images of Rama, Krishna, Ganesha, Kali, Durga. Whole number of images can be there for the image worshippers. Sri Ramakrishna says you don't follow their mode of worship, but follow their spirit of worship. Follow their feelings. Follow with what great yearning these devotees, they are worshipping those clay images or metal images or God with form. You inculcate that spirit. You learn from these worshippers that spirit of intenseness, that spirit of longing that you are separated from the Brahman. You will start worshipping the formless aspect. But realize that feeling, realize that intensity, realize that yearning that the devotees of the image worshippers have for their respective deities, respective images. And then you don't have to accept the image worship at all, Sri Ramakrishna tells them. Do whatever you are doing, but you practice, you adopt the mentality, you adopt that intensity, you adopt that yearning, you adopt that love, you adopt that longing that the devotee feels that he or she is separate from his or her deity. That longing, that yearning, you build in your worship, and then you will succeed like the same people. So with that intensity, with that yearning, with that love, with that longing, start worshipping the formless aspect of the God. That was a very clear-cut instruction and the answer by Sri Ramakrishna to the devotee's question. Now, again, the devotee is still thinking about Sri Ramakrishna's teaching about renunciation, discrimination, renunciation, dispassion. So he has a question on that particular topic to Sri Ramakrishna. He asks, how does one cultivate spirit of dispassion, and why don't all attain it? He says, you talk about creating dispassion. You you teach us about one must renounce these the material enjoyments. Now, how do for that we should first have the dispassion towards all these enjoyments. So how can we create? How can we cultivate the spirit of dispassion? And if this spirit of dispassion is so very necessary, then why don't all attain it? Now, this is again a question that Sri Ramakrishna addresses very, very beautifully with one very practical, most practical example. Sri Ramakrishna says, dispassion is not possible unless there is satiety through enjoyments. He says, yeah, I tell you people that you should have dispassion, but unless and until you have fulfilled your desires, you won't get into this habit, into this mode of cultivating dispassion. First, you enjoy. First, you have that experience. First, you go towards the sense objects, enjoy them, and then having enjoyed, having realized then, oh, this enjoyment is just for momentary enjoyment. What I will get by eating some nice sweetmeats, okay, for that particular moment, I will have wonderful feelings. I will have great experience. Oh, this is tasting so good. But later on, that enjoyment, that the pleasure element, it starts reducing, and then you start feeling, oh, it was just for a moment. It was just for the time being that I ate, I enjoyed. That enjoyment, that experience, that pleasure, that joy, I can't carry forward indefinitely. So Sri Ramakrishna says, dispassion is not possible unless there is satiety through enjoyments. And now Sri Ramakrishna gives a very practical example of a small child. Sri Ramakrishna says, you can easily cajole a small child with candies or toys. You can distract a child's attention. You give him some candies, you give him some toys, the child will get attracted towards the attractions, these attractions of candies, the attractions of toys. So he'll start playing with the toys, he'll start eating the candies, all enjoying. Nothing but enjoyment. A great time of pleasure and joy. And child once finishes eating those candies, those sweets, and finishes his play with the toys, then what happens? Then Sri Ramakrishna says, but after eating the candies and finishing its play, it cries, I want to go to my mother. That's it. Once those candies are finished, once his interest in playing with the toys is over, he has played with the toys, that interest is gone, and now the child remembers its mother. Now it starts crying, I want to go back to my mother. Now no more attraction for these candies, no more attraction for these toys. Now only thought in the child's mind is, I want to go back to my mother. Then these toys and all other fancies in the world, they can no longer attract the attention of the child. They can no longer attract the mind of the child. Now the child only wants mother. Unless you take the child to its mother, it will throw away the toy and scream at the top of its voice. All the tantrums till the time child is not with its mother. It will cry and cry and cry at the top of its voice. I want mother, I want to go back to mother. Now these toys and the candies and the pastries and the sweetmeats and the fancies, they have no more attraction for this child. So Sri Ramakrishna says that dispassion will come. Don't worry about how to cultivate the dispassion, when I will get dispassion for all these worldly temptations and attractions. You will get at the right time when your mind gets fed up with these trifles, with these worldly enjoyments, when your mind gets tired, when you start thinking about the Divine Mother, then automatically the dispassion will come. And then you will not even look at the toys and the sweetmeats and the candies and the fancies and all those glorious worldly temptations. You will not even bother about them. Now you are totally into the mode of that dispassion, into the mood of that dispassion. Now you have cultivated the spirit of renunciation, and now all you want is my mother. I want to go back to my mother, and you will start crying. The same way that child starts crying for its mother the moment it gets fed up with those toys and the sweets and the fancies. Then nothing but mother, and then you will also cry at the top of your voice, oh mother, where are you? Please take me on your lap. Please come before me. Reveal yourself to me. So that is the kind of the changeover it happens in the lives of all the spiritual aspirants, Sri Ramakrishna says. Enjoy those little bit. Enjoy those little things. Enjoy all those harmless enjoyments. And having enjoyed those, you will realize there is nothing in this enjoyment. Why I was crying for these enjoyments. And then you will start, you're crying for the mother rather than crying, give me this, give me that, I want this, I want that, I want to enjoy this, I want to enjoy that. All those enjoyments are the deeds of the past then. And now it is the spirit of renunciation, it is the spirit of dispassion. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.